friends, and welcome back to my channel, Living Life with Mama. In today's video, I will be giving you an update of what has been going on. So first things first, it is the end of the month of June. So we're going to go ahead and close out the month. Just to recap, I paid off completely my upgrade and I paid off my Target bill. In May, on this day is the day that I had to take my daughter to her grandparents. This day, I hurt my back, like severely, to the point where I'm somewhat still on bed rest. I'm allowed to do a little bit more things and stuff, but I wear out really easy. So because I hurt my back on this day, I did not work these 2 days like I was supposed to, and this was the last day. So, May the 24th, I got my last paycheck. I think I've got a different color. Oh well, it's okay. So, some of these had like rubbed off, and I think I got this one and this purple switched, but it is okay. So, my fourth paycheck was $570.67. When I am filming this, it is the 29th, but it will not go out until June 3rd. I should be back to work by June 3rd. I do have 2 work days right here, and I do plan on going to those. Like I said, I kind of am on bed rest, like I am, but I'm not. But I've literally been on bed rest since this day, and it is Wednesday. So the doctor is wanting me to get up and move and all of that, but also take it easy. I couldn't go to the bank at all, but I had some really great friends who came over to went grocery shopping, did the yard work that was supposed to get done on this weekend when I hurt my back, all of that. Instead of paying cash, they ended up just taking my card and paying for it. When they couldn't, I had to pay them back because I don't have like Venmo and stuff like that. I had to deplete the cash that was in my cash envelopes from other places. So I think the only thing that I have left in cash is within my pets, and the only reason for that is because they were big bills and not small ones. All of that. So when I start cash stuffing again in June, which I'll get to that later in the video, I'm pretty much almost starting from scratch in some form. I've had to dip into my savings, but we're doing okay. I mentally feel like we are sinking, but we're not. We have money in the savings, all of that. The reason why I took money out of my cash envelopes and not just give her money for my savings is because like I said, I didn't have a way to Venmo. I couldn't get to the bank, all of that kind of stuff. So I just took the cash out of my cash envelopes. I'm like, it's fine, whatever the case may be. I am going to go over Evergy was $75.44. Now, month of June, it should go down a little bit because my plants got put out in the garden by some amazing, wonderful friends. They worked really hard on my garden, finishing it up and everything, and they were able to finish the fence and get most of all of my plants in the garden. And then my daughter has been going out and like watering the flowers. We were able to get to the backyard yesterday, and I was able to like really water it with the watering hose, like all of that. And that like literally wiped me out. I was on the couch tired the rest of the afternoon. I did go and see the doctor today. That's when he was like, I want you to start moving around a little bit more. Like, we've allowed you to heal. The pain and the tiredness is because like they're guarding your muscles, but you haven't used them in a while. So let's get that done. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. The month of June and July are probably going to look really different. So this month starting off, I'm going to go ahead and do the month of June in a video because I am not going to be able to have any cash stuffing videos for the first week of June. I had my daughter pick a color, and she picked this really pretty bright pink. So I already wrote it in pencil. What I do is that I get a font that I like on Canva, and then I zoom it up to the size that I need, and then I outline it. So that's how I do this. I'm not very good with cursive or bubble letters, but I am really good with tracing. I just wanted it kind of pretty and stuff. I didn't want it just written. So that's why I do it the way that I do it. And it's okay because it is my calendar. I have a little bit of a different setup today. Let me know in the comments how you like it. So if you notice, my hands are not really in the center of the screen, which I think is okay. Once I video edit, I may think differently, but for right now, I'm okay with it. So instead of putting my light on my table and then using the stand that connects to my table for my camera, I extended my light legs down to the floor, and I have my light standing in like right here, like where you see the camera, like it's the light's literally right here. So it's not touching my table, so that if my table is shaky, it is not shaking the camera, if that makes sense. I'm trying to adapt with what I have. This past couple weeks really showed me that I am not in a place to be able to really invest in better equipment or more expensive equipment, that I really need to figure out what to do with what I have. And one of the things that I really did not like is the shakiness of my camera while watching videos. Because I was on bed rest, I've watched a lot of movies, a lot of videos, especially budgeting videos. I've subscribed to new budgeting videos, cooking videos. I have 3 new homesteading videos. Acre Homestead with Becky. It's just actually Acre Homestead. She's my number one ever since I started watching homesteading. Finding her is the one that kind of opened my eyes up that people actually have channels about homesteading, which has really been amazing. I've learned a lot from Becky, and even though she will claim up and down, I am not a expert, all of that, which I would agree, she's not, not to be mean or anything. She's only been doing it for a few years. So I think you would consider someone an expert who's been doing it for a very, very long time. But she has learned things from other homesteaders in which she has moved onto her channel, and I have learned a lot of things when it comes to homesteading from her. And it's just been really amazing. I really like how she does her videos. She does not just growing her food videos. She does cooking in the kitchen with the food that she grows. And I just really enjoy it. Her and her husband had a baby. I think he's almost a year old now. And they've done a few videos with her husband on, and he's really amazing. He's very sweet. You can just see in the videos how much he just adores her, and he just loves her cooking. You can tell that part of their falling in love with each other was him falling in love with her cooking. No matter if she was a good cook or bad cook, he would still love her. But I think that was one of those sayings, you can win a guy's heart through your cooking. Anyway, so she's my first one. And then there is one that's called More Than Farmers. It's a husband and wife. I just started watching them. They don't post as often as Becky. Becky posts almost every day. More Than Farmers just do farming videos. And so they pretty much send out a video almost once a week. And I really like that, but also at the same time I don't, because I want to hear from them more. I just spelt that wrong. Oh my goodness. I don't care. I can't believe I spelt Wednesday wrong. Anyways, so, but it's a husband and wife. I guess she is from an Amish family, but they don't practice Amish, and he's not from Amish, honestly. He's one of those skater boys that I probably would have dated back in high school. And he almost looks familiar, but I don't think, because I think they grew up in Tennessee. But anyways, so I'm just going to assume that she doesn't practice Amish because like they have electricity, they have cars, but it sounds like her family is really involved. They helped her husband build the house, which is what Amish people do. They helped build like the barns in their houses and everything, which is really amazing. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me make sure. Okay. I don't know if I should start the first here and waste all of this, but obviously I can move it up here. Let me look at my calendar. Let's see how many Saturdays we have. I'm going to have to put a 30 here. So I'm going to put first here instead of doing second here. Because the first I have like rent and stuff, which I've already paid for. I know like some calendars, they'll like divide this in half and do this 30, but I don't want to take half of my block away if I were to have bills on that day. But anyways, so they strictly just show like what they grow in a year to feed their 3 kids and them 2. And they make a really great team. They've had their own cow. They've had their own cow have a baby on their farm. They have tons of chickens. They now have ducks. I think they said they have 4 acres, but I could be wrong on that. And most of it's not even like being used. They have bees, all of that kind of stuff. They're like young, mid-20s, I think, which is amazing. Anyways, so I started getting to know them and everything. I've really binge watched their videos. Another video or another farm like homesteading channel I watch is Blue Jay Homestead, I think. I could be wrong on that. It's actually surprising that I've been able to remember all 3 of them. But anyways, she also does not post much. I enjoy her videos, but not as much as the other 2. I really enjoy Becky from Acre Homestead more than any of them, but I like the difference of the 3. They just posted a video about their berry patch. They have blueberries and raspberries and blackberries, several different types of berries of like the same blackberry. She has several different. She has 2 different kinds of I think they're raspberries or blueberries. I don't remember. But one's called Beauty Berry and the other one's called Beast Berry. And I love that, Beauty and the Beast. And then I think she has a couple berries that are called Blue something, which is why I think her channel is called Blue Jay, because she was making a comment about how like it kind of goes with their homesteading name. So those are the 3 that I binge watched that I am enjoying. All right, so let's see here. Rent. Oh, wow. So even if I were to get child support during this time, I'm not going to have, actually, hold on. So when I get paid, we're a week behind. So my last day that I worked was this day. And when I got paid this day, it paid for this. This paycheck, which would be here, would have paid for this week, which I didn't work. This paycheck would pay for this week, which I also didn't work. I wouldn't have been worked even if I hadn't hurt my back because we're on summer break. So I technically, oh my goodness, I'm only getting 3 paychecks. So I have money set to the side for this reason. And so this one isn't going to be like a payday, but I am going to pull money from my savings to cover the bills that I have and food and stuff like that. So like I said, like at the beginning of the video, like I said, like I'm mentally feeling like we're sinking. But once I sit down and look at the numbers and see and pull up my Capital One savings accounts and stuff, I'm like, oh, we're actually not that bad. Like it feels bad. It feels like I should be making more money. And I think because it's kind of scaring me because I'm not working, so I'm not bringing money in. I'm like, there's something wrong because the last 2 summers I've been without a job, but I've also been on unemployment. This time I'm not on unemployment, like stuff like that. And so it's kind of like a mental state 100% of where I'm at right now. So on this day, I'm probably going to figure out how much money I need to be able to transfer to pay any bills that I may need to get us to the 14th, plus any food. I should not have to put gas in my car this day because I will start working these 2. So technically, I guess I will, because I don't know. I don't know if I get paid these days or not. So that's very interesting. I guess I'll find out after these 2 days if I do get paid those. This one is technically in the office with the company that I work for, and this is a work day with the school that I will be going to. So I don't know how that works. I've never done that. So I may actually get some money that day, but that's what savings is for. So my daughter's life insurance is due on the 8th. My car insurance is due on the 11th. And the other thing that I did, so I used to sell life insurance in the state that I live in. And I pulled out a life insurance policy for me and a life insurance policy for my daughter. Well, for certain circumstances that honestly I really don't want to get into, I was not allowed to get a whole life insurance policy because I was considered a high risk, which is not good. It kind of was in my control, but it kind of wasn't in my control because it had to do with my past and the abuse that I've gone through in my life and everything. Well, I've had this life insurance for 4 years now, I think, maybe 3. I was able to convert it to a whole life because I haven't had anything put on my record since I got this life insurance. Well, she's still kind of considered high risk, but we're willing to take a chance with her because she's had our life insurance policy for so long. She hasn't missed a payment, like all that. Well, I had to lower the amount of the life insurance policy, but I'm paying more. So I switched it to a whole life. So that means that I have a life insurance policy. No matter when I die, it never ends. So a term only lasts for so long. You do not want a term. You want a whole life. My daughter's life insurance will be a whole life insurance for the rest of her life. And I'm only paying $22 on that. And it will never change. Even when she turns 18, it will never change. I think she can take it over when she's like 24 or 25 or whatever. But honestly, I probably will pay for this life insurance policy until she gets married and she's at that point where like she's getting life insurance policies for like her kids and stuff. Then I will probably have her take that over. But I will probably always pay for this. And it will never change. So my life insurance policy was only a term because that was only what I was allowed to get at the time. I was able to upgrade it, but the price has changed. And I did all of this before I got hurt. And so it wasn't that much difference. So the price before was $31.85, and it's gone up to $62.28, but it's a whole life, and the $62.28 will never change unless I want to up the amount. I have enough of the amount to pay for any debt that I may have left over and pay for my funeral expenses because I don't own a house or anything like that. And then when I do finally buy a house, I will get life insurance to cover that house if I were to pass away before I pay off that house, which is kind of like what the life insurance company that I had worked for did, where they helped families insure their house on a life insurance policy so that like if the husband had passed away, the wife wasn't trying to figure out how to pay for the mortgage if her income by herself could not cover home. So the life insurance policy is to make sure that the family that is left behind after one of the couples have passed away to be able to keep their lifestyle the same. So sometimes it's only the husband that's working, not the wife. Even if both wife and husband, or both partners, whatever the case may be, are working, if someone were to pass away, you're losing that income immediately. And so having a life insurance policy on the person to cover for that house actually will help save you and not lose your home. And so that's what I did in the life insurance policy. But then also you could pay or buy more life insurance on top of that, like whole life and stuff like that. So anyway, so my life insurance policy went up, so I'm going to have to make sure that I have these covered. My second paycheck will be the 14th, which will actually be my first paycheck of the month, unless I do get paid for those 2 work days. So I have Cricket, and it's exactly the same every month. It never goes up unless I change something. Like if I add or remove insurance, which so my daughter and I both have cell phones. We have like the cheapest kind of cell phone you can possibly get that is a good, decent cell phone. Like we don't pay like a couple thousand. Like our cell phones was maybe under $100 each. That's actually pretty cool. This paycheck only pays my cell phone bill. And so it's the same every month. And a couple of months ago, there was a bill that had passed that made it where you paid like an extra like $5 or whatever a month, so that you are charged for emergency phone calls, which I think is fine. Like it kind of stinks. That's more things for us to have to pay for than what we already paid for, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, and so I didn't mind that, but my cell phone bill hasn't gone up like at all. So are they only for certain cell phone companies? How does that work? Does anybody know? Because like I was told, expect your cell phone bill to go up, expect your cell phone to go up because this bill passed, and then it never did. And so I'm just like, what in the world is going on? Like, why? But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that my bill hasn't. So this is another awesome thing. Normally I don't have like my 4 paycheck, 1, 2, 3, yeah, my 4 paychecks lining up like that. So this is kind of interesting. So let me see here. July. Okay. So this paycheck will pay for some of my bills. So that actually helps out because we will still be going on vacation. That's a whole other story to be talking about. Like we will be going on vacation, but not as long as I thought we were going to. So we're still going to have it in June, or not June, July. We're still going to leave the same time that we had already planned doing it. It's just shorter. So we are actually going to go and visit a friend out of the state because he had been dealing with some medical issues to where we have not seen him for over a year. Now, some people are probably like, well, big whoop, like that's normal and everything. Well, it is, but it isn't when you are used to seeing your friend even out of state several times out of the year. Like he comes and sees us for my daughter's birthday. Sometimes he comes and sees me for my birthday. He'll come up for Halloween to go with us trick-or-treating. He'll come and see us for Christmas, like several times throughout the year. Like even though he's in a different state, we're close enough to the border to where it only takes like a couple hours to get to us. And then since they've moved, they're actually closer to us. Like we did like a Google Maps, like how long it would take for us to get out to their house. And it would be like a little over an hour when it used to be where it would take us like 4 hours to get to his house. Which is cool. For this paycheck, I'm just going to put a little note. Rent. Life insurance. 11. Car insurance. I think this is when it's going to be like a little wonky. Then the 12th, which is when my insurance is due, I will be getting... I technically will not be getting a paycheck at all in the month of June, but the 50 envelope challenge is going to be paying for June bills. So I probably will use some of this money to put to the side for August rent, because school doesn't start until like August 21st. So I'm going to have to figure something out with that. But anyways, so we'll be seeing our friend in the beginning of our vacation, and we'll go out there, spend the day with him as much as we can, since because of his health issues and everything, he can't really do a whole lot. So it's probably just going to be hanging around the house. I did end up getting a hotel because the house that they moved in is just him and his mom, and so it's just a 2-bedroom. They don't have any place for us to stay. And so we got a hotel that was like 8 minutes down the road. There's a pool, and we get a free breakfast the next morning, like all of that kind of stuff. And it's just for the night. We'll stay the night at the hotel and then wake up the next morning and head to our vacation. And instead of being at our vacation for like an entire week, we will be there until the weekend. So we just shaved off, I think it was like 3 days or whatever. I also found a cheaper hotel. It was the exact same hotel. I don't get this. Okay, so help me understand this if you are in like the hotel business. So when I first set this resort, I was thinking that my daughter was going to bring a friend, and we thought that my best friend's a husband and wife, my best friends, were going to come. So I rented a 2-bedroom, 1-bath resort. So it's like a little apartment with the kitchen and everything. And we needed the kitchen anyways, even if nobody was coming with us, because of like food and also budget and everything like that, which I'll get to in a second. But anyways, my friends told me like, we may make the decision last minute to come and see you, you know, all of that kind of stuff, but do not plan for us to come down. Like, it's also the week of her birthday, my best friend's birthday, and so like I want them to come down, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But that is why I rented this. Well, also my daughter's friend cannot come down at all, so it's just my daughter and I. So I was like seeing if there was a smaller place that we could get, all of that kind of stuff. Well, so when I did the resort like a month and a half ago, the price rate was $155 per night. Well, I was going to stick with that same resort, but lessen the days, and it went almost to $200. So I was only saving a couple $100 just by removing like maybe 3 nights, I think. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I should be able to save more than this, because like at this point, the price and how many days we were going to be there like was not worth it. And so I kept like scouring the internet, trying to see if there was other like hotel websites. Well, within the same booking website, they had the exact same resort, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, all of that. The reason why I knew it was exactly the same is because the bathroom of the apartment, which are same across the board, have a jacuzzi tub. And I really want that jacuzzi tub, which is another reason why I kept this apartment, even after I found out that her friend wasn't coming and my 2 friends weren't coming. But I was like, is there a 1-bedroom? No 1-bedroom available with a jacuzzi tub and everything. Okay. So for the nights that we were going to be there, they quoted me at $770. Okay. But then within the same size apartment, 2-bedroom, 1-bath, they had a 20% discount, and it was at $685. And so I even called up the website. I'm like, why is this different? And so with looking into it, come to find out the price is based off of only one person staying in this 2-bedroom, 1-bath apartment. And I was like, well, why is that? Like, it's 2 bedrooms. Like, there's obviously, so like one of them said like it can fit up to 6 people. And then the other one said like, once we went to go book it, it's like, you like, I'm sorry, but this doesn't meet your qualifications because this only fits less than 2 people and you need 2 people. And I was like, but it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. So the website allowed me to book it, even though that it was at a price for one person. Why? Like, am I going to get in trouble? The guy said I could do it, that it was fine, that there was nothing wrong with it. And because he knew that it was me and my daughter. But it's a 2-bedroom resort. And so I don't understand the reasoning of that. It's very confusing. I'm very confused about it. You know, like a lot of times they base the hotel prices off of how many people are staying in the hotel, no matter if it has 1 bed with a pull-out bed or 2 beds. Like if you have people sleeping on the floor, you have to pay for them even though they're not sleeping on a bed. So I don't know. It makes no sense. But I really wanted a 1-bedroom with the jacuzzi tub, but they didn't have any options for a 1-bedroom apartment. And I really needed the kitchen and all that because of my daughter's food allergies. Also, it's a lot cheaper to bring food and have an apartment than eating out like 3 times a day. You know, all of that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. But hopefully someone can explain it to me. So, I used my child support to pay for my cards. I'm still going to use the child support to pay for my cards, but technically my Capital One is already paid for because the hotel for the 1 night, they took the payment right then. The resort that we're at, we don't pay until we get there and check in. And then I also bought 1 item off of Amazon for our trip, which I'll show you now. I already took it out of the box and everything. But so where we're going, there's a day that we're going to the water park. So I got these and I have no clue if they're going to be good or not. If you've used something like these, please comment down below if this was like worth it. I actually didn't even spend that much money, but I wanted to be able to put my cell phone in it plus like our apartment key, my car key, and my card because I won't be carrying cash with me. I'll just be carrying my card. And spending the whole day at the water park where we're going to be at, I did not want to have to rent a locker. And this is literally all that I'm going to be carrying. And then my daughter has her cell phone and she doesn't want to just let go of her cell phone because she's a teenager. And so I bought these and then I already paid for the hotel over by my friend's house. So to continue to keep it like paid off like where I'm at, I had to pull money from my vacation savings and put that towards my card. So I technically already paid the payment even though that it leveled out with each other. But I am going to put more towards my Capital One. All of my money for vacation is in my Capital One savings account. And then I have my bank. I had 2 options. Take all of my vacation money and put it into my bank account and just use my bank card. But I didn't want to accidentally dip into my bills for July while we were on vacation. And then also, if you use your card so many times, like and everything, like you have a higher risk of your bank freezing your card. And I didn't want that to happen. And then my Capital One, my card and my Capital One savings are connected in some form. So I am trying to have a limit of $1,000 like credit limit on my card. And then I have my savings. And so when I go to use up that 1,000, I can just transfer money from my savings to my Capital One card and pay that off. And then we can keep enjoying the vacation and my card most likely will not be frozen. And it's easier to unfreeze my Capital One card than it is to unfreeze my bank card. And so that is why I've decided to do it the way I do it. And then also later on down the road, my goal is to have only $1,000 credit limit on my card, which probably will change. I don't know. But that's my goal. That's my hopes and dreams, you know, kind of thing. And that when we do go on vacation, that I will use my Capital One card and my Capital One vacation savings. I plan on paying off my Kohl's card with the child support payment. I owe like 200 and something on my Kohl's card. I'll pay off more towards Capital One. My Target is paid off. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to put paid off. Technically, the only thing that I have to pay this month is Kohl's and Sam's Club because I already made the payment to Capital One. but I'm going to put some to Capital One to lessen it because I have like 600 to go before we go on our vacation. And so I really want to get that paid down. And then when I get child support in July, I should be able to get that down as much as I can. All right, so let's see here. So this is kind of how my month of June is looking. And then what I did in April is I took these and I put it, oh, I did not put Spire or Internet. I don't remember if I told you, actually no, I haven't. So I've been having issues with my internet, and there's a new internet company that is like been putting down cables in our yard and stuff for this new internet. And so I may switch internet service depending if it's cheaper. But I'm going to leave the Target, that one there. The reason is because like our internet literally goes out at least once a week. It's ridiculous. I know that it has nothing to do with it. It's just very interesting that how this kind of worked out. So back in 2020, at least in the state that I am at, they had like a government assistance type thing for people who needed the internet to be able to work or to be able to do schoolwork. And at that time, it was just my kid. It wasn't me. And so we were eligible for the government assistance. And we've been having free internet since 2020 because that's how long the assistance had been going on. Well, it ended like 3 months ago. And as far as I can remember, the entire time that I had free internet, I hardly had any issues. Like to the point where like people that would have the same company that I have now, like saying like, I'm going to drop this company is horrible, it's crap. And I'm like, I have no clue what you're talking about because I don't have these issues with this company. Like I don't have these issues. Like I don't understand why it's so horrible for you. And then the assistance goes away, and I've been having issues left and right with my internet provider. And if you've watched my couple of videos back where I talked about how I had to like figure out somewhere where to study, and I had to delay my test and all of that because we literally did not have internet, and we wouldn't have been able to get someone out to the house until the day after my exam was supposed to be, you know, all of these different types of things. And it was just a hot mess. And there's been several times where I don't know if it was just wind and we didn't realize it or what, but there would be times where my daughter and I would be watching a movie off of my iPad and we would lose internet. And then within like half an hour to an hour, a storm's here. Like thunderstorm, sometimes a tornado watch, not a warning, but a watch. And then an hour, maybe 2 hours later, I would finally get notified by the internet company. So almost 2 to 3 hours after we had already lost internet, saying that they noticed an outage in my area and that it was due to the storm. And I'm like, no, it wasn't. But whatever. And then we wouldn't have internet until the next day, which is fine because, you know, we're in bed. We don't need the internet when we're asleep. Like all of that kind of stuff. But I am still paying for internet that I didn't even have full service for. And we also have the lowest amount of internet that you could possibly have. Like, other than me doing these videos, we don't have a smart TV. Like, our TV is my iPad. But for the most part, like, we use a projector to play our movies, like our DVDs and everything. We don't stream on a TV. I have my laptop, and we each have a phone. And that's it. And so I'm like, we should not be having these issues. And also for the fact that I am paying almost $50 for this internet. So with that being said, like, we probably will change your internet. I have no clue. I do need to take a drink. I will say that having the light where it's at now does make it a lot hotter. Also, to be quite honest with you, I've not had to talk this much in quite some time because I haven't been teaching, I haven't been doing these videos, all of that. All right, so this is ready for June, and then I have my June month. So this is going to come out May the 3rd. There's a possibility that there will be another video that will come out the 10th that will cover how much I needed, you know, stuff like that to cover the XYZ expenses. But somewhere I'm going to have child support, and I'll probably, because I technically only have 2 payments, I'll probably put some of that money towards things. I don't know. So for the most part, we're probably going to get a video on the 10th. But for the month of June and July, I'm probably going to only post 1 video a week. And the 17th, actually the 17th will be a full paycheck. I'll probably post regular, like a budget, a cash stuffing, and like what did we get at the store type thing. And then the same thing for the last week of June. I don't know. July is definitely going to look way different because I'm not working at all. I'm not making money at all. I'm going on vacation. So I may do like my vacation video after we get back. I may have like, here's our vacation, this is what we did type thing. But at the same time, I feel like those are types of videos that people would be talking into the camera, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep our identities private. And so I don't know how that's going to work. I may show like our hotel and all of that kind of stuff. I really don't know yet. But I may do some like garden videos. Even though they put the plants in the garden, there's really not a whole lot going on. Maybe do some cooking stuff. Who knows? Anyways, so this is kind of an update of my life, why I hadn't been posting for several weeks, where June and July is definitely going to look a little bit different, especially June and the beginning of August, stuff like that. So I hopefully you stick around, you watch my journey, you see kind of the things that I'm having to go through for this summer. This is my first summer where it is wonky like this because this was the first year that I started substituting. I really enjoy it, which is why I'm still doing it. I very much enjoy substituting. I'm kind of debating if I should fast track my degree because I can actually do that. But at the same time, when I do that, I have students teaching coming up and I'm not prepared for that, like money wise, you know, all of that kind of stuff. But at the same time, if I delay it to get me ready for the student teaching, I'm having to deal with this stuff, you know, all of that kind of stuff. I'm probably also going to do maybe a video in July of like goals. During this like 2.5, 3 weeks that I've been laying here, I think more like 1.5 week. It feels like forever. During the time that I've been laying here, I've been thinking about goals that I want to set. I'm kind of redoing my cash envelopes, thinking about doing budgeting a little bit differently, stuff like that. We are actually at 96 subscribers. We've been there for quite some time because I haven't been posting, which means people haven't been seeing my videos. So we're kind of a little bit delayed, but we are 4 away from 100. So if I can get 4 this month before the end of June, then I've hit my goal to get 100 subscribers by the end of the year, halfway through the year, which is awesome because I started this in April. So please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.